the beauty of the backyard garden, the oasis away from the hectic world in which we live, the serenity and the beauty of it all. It's a respite away from all that troubles us until... Why won't my plants grow? What did I do wrong? How come my neighbor's plants have flowers and mine don't? Am I a failure? Not sure about that last one, but the rest of them are all legitimate questions that are asked by gardeners all the time, and for good reason. Because things happen, things die, things don't grow, things don't flower. The problem is, with gardening, you're dealing with living things, and living things don't always behave like you want them to. I'm looking at you, Argus. Cut. The problem is, especially with new gardeners, is a lot of times they'll irrationally overreact to things. They will worry that a plant is dying, so they'll say, oh, it needs more water, so they will dump the water on it. Or they'll say this maybe needs fertilizer, and they will dump fertilizer on it, which inevitably will make the problem even worse, which will make them feel worse, and they're on this treadmill of downward spiral that they can't get out of. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you a case study that I call the flowerless coneflower. See, this is a coneflower, also known as echinacea. It's perfectly healthy looking, looks great and fabulous, but it's just a green clump of foliage. What it should be looking like this time is this. Aha! This one is much better. Look at all the beautiful flowers. It has been doing this since this spring, almost non-stop, all the way through the growing season, through summer, through the heat, now into fall. It looks fantastic. This is what an echinacea is supposed to look like. So, what happened to that other one? All right, well, let's take a look at echinacea coneflower number 1. So the first thing you would think is maybe it needs or has too much or too little water, or too much or too little fertilizer. If you look at that, look at the foliage on this. It is green, it is healthy, it looks great. Other than the few little holes that is just some passerby grasshoppers that did a little browsing, that's some good looking foliage there. Look at that, this thing looks healthy. So that leads me to believe that it's most likely not water or fertilizer. I could douse this thing with water and fertilizer. It's not going to change it. It's probably going to do it a little bit worse, and it's not going to be happy. But you see there's no foliage discoloration, no browning of foliage, no brown tips, no black foliage, which a lot of times these will get when they get dry. This guy's healthy, so he's happy. So something else is going on. Thing number 2 to consider. That is the plant's variety. Are those two plants that we just looked at the exact same plant? And the answer is no. The first one without flowers is actually a variety called tomato soup. The second one is called salsa red. They are completely different, although they're very similar, but they are not the exact same plant. So if you are wondering how come your neighbor's clematis plant is loaded with flowers, yours is not, a really easy answer is they're not the same type. So they're not going to bloom the same. Plants are bred for different blooming techniques. Sometimes they will bloom earlier, some more floriferous than others. If you got 2 Indian hawthorns that are 2 different varieties, they're going to be side by side. They're not going to bloom the same. However, in this case, given that it is late fall, the first one, the tomato soup, should be blooming right now. So I don't think that it is a genetics issue in this case either. So let's move on. Point number 3. Both those plants were planted at almost the exact same time. Were they the same size of plant when I plant them? And the answer comes back again, no. The first plant was a little bitty 3-inch plant. The second was a full gallon that had been grown in a greenhouse, was almost in full bloom when I bought it and stuck it in the ground. So it had a big head start on the second one. So if you look, if that's the case, you're never going to get that first one in that first year to ever catch up to the second one. So there's a phrase with perennials. One is called the first year they sleep, the second year they creep, the third year they leap. So that means the first 2 years they're not going to grow, but that third year they're going to go crazy. Now today's world, there are a lot more people growing and purchasing perennials that are in 1 and 3 gallons. Now, if that's the case, they're going to jump over that sleep and creep phase, sometimes go right straight to leap depending on what variety is. Now, that said, it is fall, and I still think that even that small container size, that one plant, should be blooming already. So I don't think that's it either. So let's go on to number 4. Here is a huge clue of what I think is going on. Look at how really tight this plant is. There is just loads and loads of foliage in there. This plant, called tomato soup, is usually a little bit looser than this. Should be taller than this. Should be in the foot tall, 1.5 foot range. It's not. It's way down low to the ground. It's tight. So that leads me to believe that we are looking at a PGR misapplication. So PGRs are a product that's another word for plant growth regulator or plant growth retardant. What they are is a product that is regulated by the EPA. They're used by nurseries and greenhouses. They basically make the plant smaller, more compact. A technical term is the nodes, which is the difference between the 2 leaves is going to be smaller. So why would a nursery want to use these things? Well, there's a lot of reasons, and it's primarily due to money. One is that the smaller the plants they have, that means the more they can get in their nursery, more the greenhouse, and for nurseries, that space is money. Another is labor. If they have to prune plants, if they can go in and just spray over the top of it and not have to physically go in and prune it, that's another savings. Another savings is shipping. The more they can get on that truck, the more that they can ship for cheaper to you. So the shipping is always an issue. Buy local if you can. It always helps on the cost. But another issue is people like small little cute plants. A lot like cute little puppies, cute little plants sell better too. Right, Argus? Always enjoy your garden. It's made to be enjoyed, it's made to be appreciated, it's made to be walked around and be enjoyed. If you're stressing out about every little thing about it, you're not going to have nearly as much fun as if you let things go. Let healthy plants be healthy, even if they don't look exactly what you look like. So go out and enjoy your garden, and thank you very much. Even if they don't look exactly what you look like. What does that even mean? Anyway, I'm Todd, and this is Wow Your Yard and Garden. Thanks again for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Leave me a comment, tell me what you want to hear. We got lots of great videos coming up, so we'll see you next time.